Hey there, hey, this is Anne Marie, the Anti-HR lady, and I am back home in Mexico. Um, as you can see, my voice is still not back to normal, but I feel much better. So hopefully it'll be back to normal soon. But I just wanted to say a couple things again on the subject of merit, um, because it's going to come up a lot for you guys who are in the private sector. Employers are going to try to use it as grounds for why you weren't promoted and so on. So it's already coming up in discovery calls. So I think it's really important that going forward, as you raise concerns about discrimination in your work environment, especially around career trajectory issues, that you talk about merit. Because basically what white folks are trying to do, especially white men, is to basically claim that no one else deserves promotions, career progression, except them. But the only reason that they seem to think they deserve to have it is because they're white and male. And many of them, there is no merit required. For example, take a look at this person. And now take a look at this person. One of them is a 4-star general. And let me give you a hint. It's not the white guy. But the person with who's the 4-star general just got fired from his job. So that this completely less qualified white man, whose main primary claim to fame is that he kissed up to the orange fascist, is going to be appointed to head the to be chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff. And they can't do it right away. Guess why? They have to get a waiver because he doesn't even meet the minimum qualifications required to be chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. But they want to have conversations about merit. So that tells you this has nothing to do with merit and everything to do with straight up racism, especially anti-Black racism, and the desire to just have primarily white men, but basically white people, at the top of everything, and to exclude anyone who isn't white, claiming that the only reason they're there is because of their skin color, when in fact the primary reason they get to be where they are is because of their skin color. And I think we're going to have to say that with our chest, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to not be afraid to say so, and to have your receipts ready to show that Biff and Kyle and Dick are not qualified and therefore do not merit the promotions and the raises and all the things that they continue to get while we train them and teach them how to do their jobs, and then they get promoted over the top of us. So I really do think that we are going to have to be prepared to talk about discrimination and to talk about it in the context of merit, and not to let them try to use that argument to justify their racism. We're going to have to call the thing, as always, and use their merit argument against them. So that's just my quick word for today. I am going to be back on my schedule starting this week, even though my voice is not 100%. I'm going to be back making content this week. There's a lot happening. We're getting ready to close out February. If you haven't taken advantage of the February Black History Month sales, I suggest you do so because, as I said, February 28th, midnight, they go away. Right now, you can purchase any one of the webinar modules for 15% off on my website, or you can get a code to get them for 50% off if you are a website subscriber. So if you are a person trying to navigate your way out of a discriminatory hostile work environment, I would suggest that you try to take advantage of that because the price goes back to normal starting on March 1st. And while there will be, some special offerings, especially in my new community, there are discounts and even certain information and modules and courses that people will be able to get for free depending on what type of membership they choose. The general public is not going to have access to sales prices on any of these things before the holiday season. So you, of course, have the option of joining the anti-HR community when it opens up on March 1st. or you can wait till the holiday sale. But please don't DM me and ask me to extend the sale, okay? Also, as I announced recently, AntiHR Community Book Club, we have picked the first book. It is a book called Shattered American Dream. It was written by my friend Anta James, and Anta has agreed, even though she lives in Senegal now, to do a Zoom call to talk about her book with me for a book club discussion. So there will be a discussion of the book. There'll be a Q&A. As you read the book, if there are questions that you want to ask, I will set up a process for you to post questions to ask Anta during the Q&A, and there will be an open Q&A. This will be a Zoom session. You will have to be a subscriber to my website to participate in the book club, but you do not have to be a paid member. Being a subscriber will give you access to the book club, but most of the other benefits of being in the community will require membership. And so if you want more information about joining the AntiHR community, you can visit my website, and I will drop a link in the description of this video. This is an easy way to support my work. For those of you who ask a lot about how you can support me, how you can support my work, this is an easy way to do that, is to join as a member and take advantage of a lot of the benefits that I will be providing to folks who participate. I will be having, in addition to book club, we'll be doing things like having discussions about a lot of topics. Like, as I said, my friend Michelle Wedderburn, who is an expert on moving abroad and moving to Mexico, is going to do a webinar with me, which will also be a Zoom conversation where we will talk about our move abroad. I've gotten a lot of emails from people asking me about moving abroad and for information, as well as in the comments. So we're going to do a webinar. It will be open to AntiHR community members, and then we will also open it up and give people who are subscribers an opportunity to participate as well. And I'll share more information about that as well for how to do that. But I will be having lots more conversations about joining the AntiHR community, and a lot of conversations with other kinds of experts, lining up some conversations with employment lawyers to talk about topics that I think people want to hear about, especially right now that many of you are living in the United Fascist States of America. So I have a lot of thoughts about what is going on and where this is going, and I'll be talking a little bit more about that later in the week. But I'll also be talking a lot about that in my community, because there's certain things I want to say that I just don't feel comfortable saying on a forum that belongs to a couple of white men that own the alphabet company, i.e. Google. So, I'm very cognizant of, some of where some of this is going is that the freedom of speech that people think that they have is going to be very, very clear that you don't have it. Now that they've installed, all their minions across the government, now things are really going to start happening. So if people think things are bad now, I expect things to get worse. So I really do think that we have to create spaces for ourselves to have conversations that we need to have as a community. And we really have to be in community with each other now, which is why I've been sharing so much on my YouTube community and by email to give people information about things that I think that they need to have. And I will continue doing that. If there are topics that you would like me to talk about, please drop them in the comments. I'll also be announcing the date of my first Can HR Do That inside of the community very soon. I'm still figuring out some things on the back end. So once I have those figured out, I will be sharing more information about that very soon. And that will also, Can HR Do That will be open to subscribers to my website and members of the AntiHR community. So if you're a subscriber, I will send information about how to participate on that as well. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you will share your thoughts on merit, because I think this is going to be a big hot topic going forward. And I will see you guys in the next video. As always, HR is not your enemy, but it's definitely not your friend. But I am. I'll see you soon. Bye.